Romain Grosjean, thank you very much for speaking with the Inside Line.
Hey.
We're obviously still in a very difficult stage with COVID-19 ongoing. How are things in Geneva where you are and with you and your family? How are you going?
Yeah, we're good. Thank you. We are well. Everyone is healthy. Obviously, it's been a change of life for everyone. I used to travel a lot and not being home that often, and now I'm home every day. So the kids don't go to school, so we need to, we're doing things a little bit differently than we were before. But I must say that we're lucky that the weather's been great. In fact, we've got a garden, so we can always go out a little bit. And actually teaching the schools, the boys' schools, it's fun.
Obviously, esports and racing, e-racing is a very big focus at the moment. Tell me a little bit about how R8G Esports came about and what was the initial spark for that?
Yeah, well, I like to follow different things alongside Formula One, and always kept an eye on simulator racing or esports. And obviously, it's growing and growing. And being home and kind of missing racing, I got back into it after 10 years, and I discovered a little bit more. And I thought, you know what, I think there's a great opportunity to create a team here. And all the partners that I contacted, they were super enthusiastic about it. It's really booming. And, I think, during the time off, it's great. I want to also to see if I can create a bridge between the virtual and the real world. By trying to bring the drivers to go-karting and why not Formula 4, or see if we can actually get our best drivers on the sim into real life and see if they get a chance to become, one day, why not a Formula 1 driver? That'd be amazing to find young talents via eSIM.
Sure, and as you said, that's one of your key focuses with your partnership with Praga Karts. And we've seen with Igor Fraga moving to Formula 3, which is pretty incredible. What are your thoughts on that crossover? I mean, obviously they're very, very different disciplines, esports and motorsports, one very different, especially in the physical terms.
Yeah, very much. I mean, it's, I think I am a fairly good racer, I believe. And when I got to esport, I'm not good. I mean, I'm getting better, but it takes a lot to adapt. So it's yes, there's very similar aspects, the way you race and the strategy and looking after the tires and so on. It's pretty cool. But also the lines and the feedback you get in simulator, it's only via the steering wheel, whilst when you race, it's most of it via the seat and the chassis and your lower back. So that is different. But I think, yes, I mean, we've seen it that one young talents went from simulator or eSIM sim racing to Formula 3 and doing pretty good. So, yeah, with Praga Kart, we've got the chance to be able to do that and hopefully, being successful in esports. Today is our first race, 24 hours of Nürburgring. So I hope the guys are going to do well, and it would be nice to have a nice race for our first one.
That's great. Tell me about the collaboration with AAA, which deals not just in esports, but also career management. Obviously, Olivier Panis is their motorsport director. They've got Mick Doohan as their moto director. So they've got a pretty incredible foundation there.
Yeah, they're great guys. I mean, they have got a really good setup for esports. And when I got into it some times ago, I mean, it's a very, very different world from when I stopped in 2010. And so many different games, so much more to do. Obviously, we need someone to manage the driver, find the drivers, manage the structure, and so on. And I don't have the time to do all of that. Obviously, I have a bit more time now, so I get to contact the drivers and speak with them, which is great. But when the season restarts, I won't have that much time. So I needed some people that knew what they were doing. And obviously, yeah, they're going to be running the team on a daily basis with that knowledge, which is great. And we're trying to see how we can grow things together and be successful.
Tell me about the roadmap from here, maybe the next few months into even 2021. What are the plans for your esports team?
Well, it's to keep finding the good drivers, to be present on iRacing, Race Room, Factor, and Gran Turismo, which I believe are going to be our focus. So yeah, we want to grow the team. We want to go racing as much as we can. Obviously, 24 Hours of Nürburgring is a good one to start. Big race, and looking forward to see what we can do, what we can achieve, and how far we can get.
Tell me a little bit about your own sim racing. Do you have your own setup at home?
I do have my own setup at home. I'm kind of finishing it. I'm receiving bits and pieces. One more bit to come, a new steering wheel. But yeah, I've got a beautiful chassis, SimLab. You can really set it up the way you want. It's very, very impressive. And then a Fanatec engine motor. And then Cube Control steering wheel. You can change the display. You can upload it. And very, very impressive. Same as Formula One, to be fair. And Uskvindel pedal. Really important to get a good feel on the pedals. And then the computer, I just had to upgrade myself to a nice Predator IM 5000, and that is running very smoothly.
And will you be racing with your team, or will you? We haven't seen you obviously in the F1 Virtual Grands Prix.
No, well, I mean, with 3 kids at home, I don't have as much time as I would like to practice. So I need to kind of focus on one game, and at the minute I'm playing more on iRacing. I think there's a fair bit of categories, GTs. There's IndyCars, the World Rallycross, Formula 3. So, and the field is pretty good. I've been trying a little bit the F1 game, but I haven't really got the time to. It's a different feel, and if I go, I don't really want to be looking stupid. So I need to get a decent level, and it's not, as I say, with kids at home, it's not easy. Will I race with my team if they accept me at one point and they think I'm good enough? Yes. But right now, I think they'll say that I can practice back home.
And that's fair enough too. Moving on to F1, obviously it's a moving target, but it looks like we'll have a start in Austria and then potentially at Silverstone. What are your thoughts on the plans you've seen so far?
Yeah, I think I think I know as much as you do. The plan is July, try to go racing. I think the plan is the best we can get. We've been inside the GPDA, we've been talking a lot how we can do things, how we can try to be, going early, because obviously we know that for the teams financially and so on, it's hard to do nothing. So we need to start going racing. So July, if we can really start in July, I think we've got a chance to have maybe 15 to 18 Grand Prix before the end of the year. That would be nice. Obviously, we'd be very different with no spectators, very limited people are on the track, but hey, as long as we can go racing, I think we'll be happy.
Just in terms of the positive projects we've seen with Project Pit Lane, a number of the teams banding together, even Ferrari doing production of breathing aids. What are your thoughts on how quickly the teams have responded to the challenge?
Yeah, that's amazing. That's really shows Formula One how quickly we can react, we can turn things around. So yeah, Mercedes was one of the first one, I believe, and then Ferrari in Italy. Really good to see that we can help, the world as sort of bringing fun and entertainment over the weekend when we go racing. But when there's a serious matter, Formula One can be here to help and do great.
Yeah, it's been fantastic to see. In terms of the cost cutting, obviously that's a big task at the moment with the teams and done at the team principal level. But what are your thoughts on the plans that have been done so far in terms of the delay of the new era into 2022?
Yeah, I think it's the right decision. There needs to be some strong decision made these days if we want to still have a lot of teams competing in Formula One, and if we don't want to be down to 4 teams, which wouldn't be really that great to see. So I think there's a lot happening. I think the drivers, we've always been keen and in favor of bringing hard cost cap and making sure that there's more fights and more chances to have more diversity at the front of the field, and not 2 category now as it is nowadays. So let's hope it goes through. I've seen the news from the last Friday where the FIA can have a word or change the rules. I think it's great, and I think if we do want to see 10 teams on the grid next year and in the future, things needs to be moving. But it could be a tough time, but for the positive of the future.
Just going back to the GPDA, how often are you in contact with the other members, and how often are you talking, and how is that going?
Yeah, fairly often, to be fair. Fairly often, especially the three directors, we've got a WhatsApp group, and we can exchange as much as we want in the group. And then when things are a bit more, let's say, in place, then we share with the members. But we debate a fair bit, and always quite hard. It's funny that we can have different opinions and have a good discussion.
How are you keeping your mind and body race ready? Obviously, it's a tough time for everyone. But you've obviously got a family, but have you been training a bit as well?
Yeah, I do. I mean, lucky to have a home trainer for the bike, and then garden using the trees and the steps and elastic bands and everything you can find to get ready. Obviously, the neck is a big one because normally the neck gets stronger and stronger through the season. But no, we are not racing for a very long time. If we take Abu Dhabi December last year. So yeah, it needs to be ready for when we go to Austria. And I think the fitness is good. I think, but it's a bit of a different one, and kind of miss the routine of going to the gym and so on. But it will come back.
Of course. Finally, obviously the driver market is on complete hiatus. But are you thinking about 2021 and beyond?
Yeah, I mean, at the minute it's a bit strange because we haven't started racing, so we need to see how things are going. But and also with the rules, is it going to be a big budget cap? And then it doesn't necessarily means that you need to be in a certain team to have a chance to be on the podium, and you could actually have some other options. But looking forward to see what's the future. Obviously, 2021 there were those rule changes and so on. Not anymore, but I still think the driver market will be open and quite interesting.
Fantastic. Romain Grosjean, thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure.
Thanks for watching. To stay up to speed on all things Formula One, make sure you hit the subscribe button.